Good morning. So, in a few months, I'm flying to Europe, and I was looking at the visa program that Europe is implementing, where we have to apply for a visa to come to Europe. We, being U.S. citizens now, have to apply for a visa to go to Europe. And to almost no one's surprise, that program has been pushed out another year, so I don't have to worry about it. But it got me thinking about other programs and reminded me of the Real ID. And frankly, I had lost track of Real ID where that program was. And checking on it, I realized that this time it might actually happen. So on May 7th, I believe, Real ID will come into effect and you'll need a Real ID to fly domestically in the United States. I don't know how many people this will affect. The only stat I could find on it was about half the US population as of 2022 had a Real ID. So I'm hoping it's most people. But let's just review what a Real ID is and what you need to do to continue to fly. That's assuming that NBC doesn't kill this video off for the image that I used for it. So let's go to PowerPoint. Okay, so what is Real ID? Beginning May 7th, 2025, that's this year. That's, ooh, just over a month away. You're going to need a Real ID to fly domestically. So what is a Real ID? Well, Google. Real ID is a federally accepted form of identification like any driver's license or ID card that meets specific security requirements set by the Real ID Act of 2005. So yeah, it's been 20 years since this was started talking about, allowing you to board domestic flights. So most, no, all now US states can issue a real ID. So that's an ID compliant to a set of standards set by the federal government. You can get a driver's license or an ID card. The problem is that they also still issue, at least this is certainly was true in Washington when I had it, and in Illinois, according to my mom, who just renewed her license, is that the states issue non-real ID compliant licenses as well as real ID compliant licenses, just to add to confusion. So there's, of course, a cost differences, which is why they do that, because some people never fly. Probably nobody watching this channel, because why would you even bother with this little travel channel? So what forms count for a Real ID? This is what really matters. If you have a properly state issued ID that has enhanced a little star up in the upper right hand corner, I think is how you identify them, you've got a Real ID. Great. Now, for most of us, this doesn't mean anything, because if you're watching this channel, I assume you are a US passport holder. So US passport or US passport card. Some people don't get the card because it doesn't do much for you unless you're driving to Canada or Mexico. I think that's the only place it can be used. But it can actually also just be used for domestic ID while flying. I use the passport card internationally when I'm just traveling about. I don't want to carry my passport with me. And sure, it's not going to get you on a flight or anything, but your average bouncer in a bar checking IDs before you walk into some blues club in Barcelona, they don't care if it's a passport or a passport card or a driver's license. Something that says US, got your picture, you're good. Then you don't have to risk carrying around your passport. So that's what I do. I even carry it here because I don't want to, in countries that I have residency, because I don't want to risk losing the residency card. And again, most people accept it because it's got your picture and it says US. Nobody knows what it is. There's a whole bunch of other platforms. One thing I did look up is uh, if you're a foreign national on a visa, just visiting the US, you won't have a Real ID. So if you're a foreign national visiting the country, what could you do? Well, a foreign government issued passport counts for Real ID. And I believe you also, of course, have to have your visa documents handy with you. But all these other things count. One of the ones I liked, let's see, merchant mariner conditions. There was one for tribal cards too, and I don't see it on this list. I saw it on a different list. But yeah, oh, here it is. Canadian province driver's license or an Indian or Northern Affairs Canada card. Wow, there's tons of stuff. So it's not hard to have a Real ID. And again, the big ones for, of course, US travelers is passport or passport card. So you get it before May 5th or May 7th, and you'll be good to continue flying. So if you don't have one, better get on it. You don't have much time. So I hope you have one. I hope to see you flying and have fun. Thanks.